Hello to everybody again. Today I wanted to make a video about one of my favorite and most adventurous travel experiences to date. So most of the time when we're traveling, we tend to visit one country per day, or maybe two if you're transiting, sometimes even three if you're in a region with small countries that are very easy to travel throughout. But for me, the highest number of countries I've visited in only one day was actually 4 when I was on a trip in Western Europe. So in this video, we're going to talk about my experiences traveling to 4 countries in under 24 hours. And it was an experience, of course, which I'll probably never forget. So a quick little disclaimer before making this video. I actually lost all of my camera footage from this trip, so I mostly only have my pictures and some videos I took on my phone, so bear with me while I'm trying to tell this story with the limited resources I still have. So in spring of 2019, my family found cheap tickets to Western Europe, so we decided to go on a spring break vacation to Paris and France in its entirety. I'm not recording. I mean, I am recording. While there, I was able to practice my French, even though my accent wasn't really good. Mais je crois que c'est là je me suis amélioré mon accent en français et j'ai appris beaucoup de mots en français. Et je pense que c'était une bonne expérience pour moi, pour voir beaucoup de sites en France et toutes des choses comme ça. J'ai besoin de retourner en anglais donc. Like I said, this journey began in Paris, and about halfway through our 7-day-long trip to Paris, I decided to plan a day trip that would take us to Luxembourg. So, on that day, we got in our rental car at 7 in the morning very early, and began to drive to Luxembourg. On our way to Luxembourg, we even got to see the beautiful countryside of the Champagne region, where Champagne itself is actually from. And just seeing the farms and the villages was such an honoring sight, especially so early in the morning, where you could see the sun rising over the plains and things like that. The Champagne region is known for, of course, champagne. I am here right now at one of the bottling centers, if you will, and it's just outstanding. So around noon, we made it into the city of Luxembourg. And of course, as expected, it was raining. I think it happens more than 2/3 of the year in Luxembourg. Now, Luxembourg is a small country. The capital itself has the same name as the country, and you can even drive top to bottom of the country in about 45 minutes. So with that in mind, I realized that I could probably cross a few borders on that same day. We continued driving through the Luxembourgish countryside, and we stopped at this place named Mullertal, which has always been interesting for me since I saw it on Google Earth years ago. And it's essentially this waterfall with a beautiful bridge. So I got out to take a few pictures, and boy were they beautiful. So at around 2:30 p.m. after leaving Mullertal, we realized that we still had time in our day to go to the town of Vianden, which is known for its beautiful castle. And we also realized that the quickest way to get there was through Germany. So that was country number 3. The most amazing part of this drive was that there was a bridge right between Luxembourg and Germany, and thanks to the Schengen area, I was able to walk across 2 beautiful countries without any problems. So, for about 30 to 45 minutes, we continued driving through Germany, and I saw some of the most beautiful countryside while there. The town of Vianden approached us right as we got back into Luxembourg, and that really gave us even more perspective to how small the country was. Now, Luxembourg itself is a very wealthy nation, so seeing these castles and these beautiful villages just felt fitting for the kind of country that I was in. Now after all of this driving, we realized that we needed gas eventually, so we stopped at this gas station near the border of Belgium. And to my surprise, this gas station itself was a very eye-opening experience in Luxembourg, and I'll tell you why. When I was in this gas station to get a bag of chips, one of the customers in front of me was speaking German to the cashier, and he replied in fluent German, spricht fließend auf Deutsch, hat Gespräch für einem etwas, ich weiß nicht. Then somebody from Luxembourg was talking to the cashier, ordering in Luxembourgish, of course, the national language, and the third customer, my dad, started asking him something in English, and naturally he replied in English, and of course I wanted to see how far this could go. Donc j'ai posé quelques questions en français sur je ne sais quoi, mais il a répondu purement en français. C'était très intéressant, très magnifique. And I knew this beforehand, but I never realized the extent of it. But Luxembourg, due to its size, is one of the most multilingual nations I've ever been to, and listening to a normal citizen speak 4 languages casually was such an interesting experience. So we filled up our gas tank, of course, and we drove back to Paris. And again, the quickest route was through Belgium. So we drove through the night, through the well-known Ardennes region of Belgium, and of course I don't really count this as me going to Belgium because I never even really got out of the car, but just being able to see the street lights and the buildings of Belgium was an experience in itself. And so, after visiting 4 countries in one amazing day, we made it back to the outskirts of Paris and rested. Alright guys, I hope you really enjoyed this story because it was quite an adventure for me to experience. And make sure to subscribe to hear more stories like this in my series Vicarious. And I really hope you guys have a great day. And of course, keep traveling everyone. Cheers!